Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be doing my favorite quick and easy fall look for you guys. This is kind of rusty colors, earth tones, but things that look really good on my skin color and things that are just easy to do. For the most part, I'm going to be using my Too Faced chocolate bar. Actually, I think the entire look is the Too Faced chocolate bar, but I do show you guys how to do my blush and highlighter and all of that stuff as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. The very first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is tie up my hair. It just helps me concentrate and get my work done. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my MAC primer SPF 50. Just use a primer if you have oily skin, or if you want to get a more radiant finish, use a primer that has some radiant qualities to it. It just helps me to not make my makeup slip and slide, but this is definitely not a must for every skin type. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my Urban Decay Primer Potion for my eyelids. This is definitely really important. I think it's important so that your eyeshadow doesn't move. So I go ahead and apply this all over my lid up to my brow bone, because that is all the different areas that my eyeshadow is going to be resting on. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette that is used for this entire look. It's super easy. It's a great palette to have. I recommend this to everybody. I'm going to go ahead and use that sort of rusty purple magenta-ish color on one side, and that's going to be my all over lid color. So I'm using that with a Sigma brush, just putting that all over my lid, being generous with it, but just making sure I'm not putting it too high on my crease. Then I'm going to go in with two different browns, a light one and a darker. The darker one has more red tones to it, the lighter one has more yellow. I just wanted to kind of be neutral, and that's going to be my crease color. I'm basically just applying that directly to my crease, following the shape of my eye, not changing my eye at all. This is a very normal fall look, so I didn't want to do anything drastic, so therefore I'm just following the natural shape of my eye. Of course, you can change it based on how dramatic you want this to be. If you don't have a big lid, you can always make the crease a bit higher as well. Then I'm going in with a gold eyeshadow. You can use any gold that you want, but I really like this specific gold in this palette. And I'm going to take a smaller shader brush and pop that just in the center of my eyelid, above where my eyeball would sit if I was looking straight ahead. What this is going to do is just give you a little pop of color when you open your eyes. Then I'm going in with a silverish color, silverish pink color, for my inner tear duct area. This color in this palette works really well because it's not too silver and it doesn't reflect light as much, so it doesn't offset the gold in a bad way. Then just choose your favorite black eyeliner. This is Urban Decay 0, and just line your waterline only. Don't put this on your actual lash line. Any black eyeliner would do for this. I'm going back into that darker brown color that we used earlier, and I'm going to use that to kind of smoke up my bottom lash line. So all I'm really doing is just pulling it from the back end of my eye towards the front tear duct area. It's going to go all the way under, not too thick, not too thin. Then I'm going to go ahead and use that white eyeshadow color up on the very top. That's a good highlight. It's not dramatic at all. So if you guys are doing this for nighttime, I would use something that has some shimmer. This is a completely matte highlight, and as a result, really natural. With a blending brush, I'm just following the shape of my normal eyebrow. Then I'm going in with Bobbi Brown's Cream Corrector in Dark Peach, and just quickly correcting the bridge of my nose, inner eye area, because I forgot to do that earlier. So this is a whoopsie moment. I just had to really quickly do that because I tend to always do that at first, and I completely forgot to do that to this eye. Then because I had forgotten that, I'm just going to go back and add my tear duct color. Then with a black pencil eyeliner, I'm going to trace my lash line, but only for half of my eye, or even maybe just the corner 1/3 of my eye. And then I'm going to smoke it out with another small shader pencil, and just back and forth on the line. I'm just pulling it back and forth to kind of smoke it out to give it a really natural look. I don't want this to be dramatic in any which way. I'm going to get most of my color, most of my black through my mascara, as you guys will see at the very end. So I just keep going back, adding more as I see fit. I use the MAC Pro Longwear NW35 concealer under my eyes, which is under both of my eyes. Now I'm going to go in with my foundation. Matte Velvet Plus by Makeup Forever, color 65, and my Sigma F80 brush for foundation. My favorite brush, absolutely, for a very long time. I'm just using this all over, zooming you guys out really quickly. And I'm not stingy with this foundation, but at the same time, I don't use a ton just because I don't like a super done up face. And this foundation is more matte, so it's going to be more full coverage for the most part. So I'm just really rubbing that in. I go in circular motions, up and down, really kind of whatever works, but this brush is amazing. You guys should look into it. I'm just really enjoying synthetic brushes for foundation recently. Then I'm going in with my MAC CC powder. This is in the color, I'm drawing a blank, but I will add that into the video so you guys can see it. And I'm using a big powder brush, and I'm going to use that as my setting powder as opposed to my normal translucent one, because this kind of helps balance out the color of the Makeup Forever right now while I'm tanned to give me the correct payoff that I wanted. So I am setting this all over. And right now my face might look super dry and sort of dull, but as time goes on, my face does produce quite a bit of oil, so it'll look more natural. Then I'm using Nars Casino Bronzer. It's my favorite. So I haven't been contouring too much recently. I'm really using this just to bring my face back to life and add a little bit of depth and dimension, because foundation really does have the tendency to take that away sometimes. So I'm putting that on my cheekbones, at the hollows of my cheeks, underneath my chin, and very, very, very lightly on my forehead, not really to give much color. Then with Nars Madly Blush, which is a really pale, brownish, peachish blush, I'm just going to add a bit of color. You kind of have to get quite a bit of this on your brush to get a good look with this. It's very, very buildable, and it's great really for all skin tones and that sort of thing, so I just love it. Then I'm using Kevyn's Candlelight highlighter, and I'm going to use that to highlight my cheekbones. I am loving this. Such a great highlighter. Expensive, but totally worth it. I'm putting that just on my cheekbones and drawing pretty much a diagonal line. And this is buildable as well, but you want to use the right brush from the get-go, because you can tend to look like you're going a little bit overboard, but if you use the right brush, you can get the perfect finish. Then with Anastasia's Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows. This is absolutely so important for fall. Fall is all about big, thick eyebrows. Unfortunately, I don't have big, thick eyebrows, but just defining them a bit with this really helps the look. So I absolutely love this. I'm just going to follow the natural shape of my eyebrow. This one eyebrow is a little bit more defined than my other, so I tend to round out the arch a bit so that it's not quite as pointy. But watch my eyebrow video if you want to see how I do my eyebrows. This is just a quick version, but I love it. Then I'm using Illamasqua's Buff lipstick. It's a nude lipstick, but if I really put this on without dabbing it, it looks very, very, very nude, which I don't want right now. You'll see why. So I'm just kind of dabbing this on. If you want this to be more even, you can definitely put on a concealer on your lips first. Then I'm using MAC's Rebel lipstick, which is a wine color. And I'm just kind of dabbing that on top to give me a little bit of a pink effect to this lipstick. I've been wearing this combination for a few days now, and I'm just loving it. It's nude, but not too nude. A little bit of a pink, but, you know, not too much. So I enjoy this. Then my favorite mascara on earth, which is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes really quickly. This is essential. Lashes do not look the same at all if you don't curl them before you put on mascara. So I'm going to now put on my mascara. Always coat my top lashes over first, then under. And then I go back and do the bottom. This is a really great mascara if you want long, thick, black lashes. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to post down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next and all of that good stuff, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. Bye!